Hello everybody, I'm Kamaleao, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a recorded game from Age of Empires 2 HD. It's a 1v1 between me and Palion on the map Arabia. And one of the defining qualities of the map Arabia is it's very open, as you can see. Lots of open space. It's very difficult to wall up and defend. So it tends to be a faster map, a more aggressive map. Lots of raiding going on usually, early game aggression, feudal wars, all that stuff. I'm playing as the Magyar, and my opponent is the Saracens. Now, the early game is pretty much similar for both of us. We have our scout, we're running around, we're taking sheep, we're snagging boars, we're building houses, we're building a lumber camp. We're trying to keep villager production up, and yeah, it's pretty similar for both of us, so I'm going to speed that up significantly. Now, the advantage of the Magyars is I'm not that gold dependent, because I have pretty good trash units. Trash units being units that don't cost gold. And gold is valuable because limited resource. My unique unit is the Magyar Hussar, and that one can, through a special technology that's also only available to the Magyars, can remove the gold cost from it, and as a result I have very good options, very strong options for units that cost no gold. And that's a good advantage for the Magyars. That and a generally quite open tech tree. They're one of my favorite civs. I really like playing them, especially in 1v1s or small team groups. As I said, the beginning is pretty similar for both of us. The early game is mainly about scouting and about getting as many villagers out as quickly as possible. And that's what we're both doing. Now the tiny point difference early on is mainly due to scouting, usually. If we both keep up villager production, scouting is the main difference, generally. Now I'm putting 3 on gold here. The main reason for doing it that early is I'm planning to do an archer attack. And archers cost wood and gold. So yeah, I need a lot of gold. And a lot of wood, but you generally need wood, so that's normal to put lots of people on wood. The advantage of an archer rush against most others is archers don't cost food, and you need a lot of food for villagers and for advancing into the next age. So yeah, I generally try to keep keep stockpiling as much food as possible. And when you need to produce military, like scouts who cost gold, food, then that can be problematic for your advancement time. So this, I'm going up to feudal age now. His scout found my base, which is not really scary. I mean, on a small map you find that quite quickly, and the scout is pretty weak. It would die to my villagers, so. Now what he's doing, this is a big mistake. And it's dead. When you have found your opponent's base, you should be very careful where you put it, never put it in range of the town center. Now I'm up into feudal age, I'm immediately starting building my first archery range. What he's doing now, he's trying to do a rush. A dark age rush with militia. That can be very effective. The problem is, it can be effective in 2 instances. 2 things need to happen for that to be effective. It needs to be fast, and happen very quickly, as early as possible. And you need to know that you're not supposed to fight with these. You're supposed to annoy your opponent. This is not annoying me. This is nothing. They are attacking a building. They're never going to get that building down. And even against villagers, militia is weak. And generally you should do it with 3. I think the third one. Yeah, the third one is back here. Militia are weak. My 3 villagers here will beat the 2 militia. And also, I have archers out. So, no. This is too late, and he's doing it wrong in the sense that he shouldn't try to fight with them. He should attack the villagers, then run away, attack villagers, run away. But the way it is, this is just throwing away food and gold. He killed one villager with that. And one of the militia is more expensive than one villager. So, and he zoned them off for a while, but that wasn't significant. So that's quite bad. Another thing he's doing is trying to wall up, which can be effective. Like something like this is very useful. Just close off area with buildings you need to build anyway. I think that this wall is quite a waste of money. It actually is counterproductive for him. Because he only has one wood line. He doesn't have wood over here. He has to go quite far out of his base to get this wood line. The only other second wood line that is close to him is this one. But it's outside this wall. Also, there's nothing over here that I would like to raid. If I'd raid, or, well, my raid is going to start. I have 4 archers, so I'm going in now. I'm going to attack over here. Because there's his outlying gold, there is his wood line. Now he's doing something good. He knows that I'm going to come with archers. He saw my archery ranges, he saw me building archers, so he's making a defensive watchtower. But there is some issue with his building placement here. He should have either placed the mining camp in between those two resources here. Then he could use one mining camp and one tower to protect both. That would have been the best thing he could have done. Now he's deciding to build this mining camp over here. In that case, this tower should be here, protecting both. As it is, it's protecting his gold, it's not protecting his stone. While that happens, my villagers are down here. He's trying to make a house wall, but yeah, this is a large area and house walling takes some time. So he had to garrison his villagers, and that's good for me. Speed it up a bit. Now I saw this tower here, it attacked my villager, my archer for a while, so I know I cannot attack this gold mine. But I have quite a good number of archers by now. Now he's putting down a blacksmith, that's okay, and he's putting down an archery range. This is quite good, because he needs counter units to my unit, because I'm on the offensive, he needs to answer now. And the best answer to archers early on is skirmishers. And he needs that to make skirms, which he's doing. But while I'm doing this, he's doing this, I'm zoning them off. And yeah, he realized that he can send those back, but takes him quite too long. He needs more of them, yeah. Also agree with that. And now he's realized that he needs another wood line, and he's built a second wall over here. Had to delete some of this, which makes this a terrible waste of wood. Especially early on, that is something you don't want to do. Also, he's starting them on this without a lumber camp. Don't do that. I'm going in a bit, pushing a bit more, taking some hits from that tower, but again I zoned them off. And it takes him, I'd say, a bit too long to ungarrison them again. But it's easier said than done. This is something that happens to me also from time to time, when you have to garrison at multiple buildings and get attacked in multiple areas. That's not good. So he still has some garrisoned in here and maybe forgot about them. Now he actually got to the castle age before me. I don't think that this is good for him. I mean, generally getting through the ages quickly is very, very useful, but it's also very expensive. And I'm really doing some damage to his economy, and he could have gotten out his skirms quicker, I think, if he had maybe laid off the advancement to the next age a tiny bit and gotten out skirmishers a little bit quicker. As it is, I'm also researching Castle Age. Getting my back stone mine. Having an idle villager. Well, yeah, generally by now, points-wise, I'm quite far ahead of him. Mainly thanks to the raiding with the archers. And I'm also in Castle Age now. And yeah, right away I'm researching crossbowmen. Upgrading these. But he has a big group of skirmishers. Also very, very important, don't send your units in one at a time. If he sends in one at a time, my crossbows would kill skirmishers easily. Also, the archers could have killed that easily. But with a group this large, yeah, they just tear them apart. So I have to run away now. And now he actually has more military units than I have. He's putting down a stable, and I didn't see that stable coming down, but still I'm researching pikemen. Mainly because, well, one thing is I want all of my my trash units to be at maximum strength, because gold is a finite resource. Also, I was expecting some kind of answer, or anticipating some kind of answer, thinking, okay, what could really be problematic for me? If he gets those skirms into my base, I don't care too much. That's why I'm building the siege workshop, so one mangonel and all those skirms are useless. But what could be problematic is knights, because what I have at my disposal so far is terrible against knights, and oh, look what we have here, knights. While he's sending his units out, I'm sending my 4 remaining crossbowmen in. And he is not taking too much care. I mean, this one back here was constantly giving him attack notices, so he probably didn't notice that I'm also attacking back here and killing villages. Now he's going in with his knights, and very good of him, not attacking my buildings, not giving me an attack notice, but going straight for my villages on this outlying gold mine, which is completely unprotected. But I saw them coming. I'm pulling back. I'm starting to build pikemen. And I'm throwing down 2 more barracks to get more pikemen out quicker. Back here I pulled them out. Simply because I thought, there's only 4 of them. If I lose control over them, they'll die instantly. And this fight back here is more important. So he went for the first easily raidable spot, but I'm sending them back now. This area here is not really easily raidable. He already lost 1 knight to my town center. That's not good for him. And I think he's realizing that now and moving away. He's trying to zone off my villagers from building that second barrack, but tried that too late. This is my second raidable spot over here. And he should really be going for that instead of staying under the town center. Because even though skirms are pretty resistant to archer fire, they can't survive this forever. So now he's doing the right thing. He's going over here and attacking my unprotected wood line. And he's killing a number of villagers. I think I probably killed more with my archers, but this is a good push by him. This is very useful for him, the right thing to do. But he only has 1 knight. I have quite a number of halps by now, and some skirms of my own. So yeah, this push is pretty much over. And also I have 3 town centers. He only has 2, and his second one came up way later than mine. So I don't mind that much that I'm losing a number of villagers, because I'm house anyway. And I have far more villagers anyway. I have more villager production, and even if he zones those here away from wood, I still can gather wood here and here very safely. So that set me back a little bit, but not much. And he probably lost more resources through the guys that died Maybe not. Maybe somewhat even. But he didn't really gain anything in points. I'm still far ahead of him. I'm in a far better position because now I have a significant army back here. And his army is one knight. One lone knight. Which is terrible. For him. I'm quite happy. Now he's putting up his third town center, which is very important. You need town centers as many as possible, as quickly as possible. Let's speed it up a bit more. I put out a mangonel because of what I have seen from him so far is knights and skirms. And my halberdiers and my pikemen are extremely good against the knights, and the mangonel is extremely good against skirms. So I thought this is a pretty good composition against what he has. Next thing I'm doing, I'm sending down villagers here to this unprotected side of his base. He saw that, he's trying to do some... I'm not sure if this is intentional. If it is, it's really not that useful. He's putting down a fourth town center. That's pretty much the only chance he has to keep up with me, is raiding my eco and having more TCs than I have to catch up with my villager production, because I have just far more than he has. I'm also not so happy about this town center placement. I probably would have put it up here. Mainly to secure another wood line, because if I raid this and force them to garrison, I force all of them to garrison at once, or I would force all of them to garrison at once. And if you spread your town centers out a little bit more, I can't raid everywhere at the same time. But I'm not really looking for raiding anymore. I'm putting down a forward castle. Usually I like my castles defensively, like put it over here, someplace where it guards all these farms, or in the middle here to guard farms on both sides. But I'm so far ahead in points that I was thinking, yeah, put some forwards and then I can seal the game. He's reacting in, I think, the best way possible. He is countering my castle with a castle of his own, and nearly instantly killing a bunch of my units. And this is very good, because early on, especially before the Imperial Age, castles are very hard to get through. There's not much that I can do against this castle. Can destroy a few buildings down here, but this castle essentially makes this whole area... I mean, this is what happens when I go into the area, so... He's effectively zoned me off. Now I'm sending a few more villages down here to make more production buildings. My own base is... it's really open. I have no defenses. I walled up down here, but that's all. All of the rest of the area is very open. He could just waltz in here and there's not much I can do. Putting down a stable back here. I don't really want to produce anything in here. I'm mainly getting this stable so that I can upgrade my Magyar Hussars, which are built in the castle. Now I'm building battering rams, and I'm trying to put down a second castle. But he's putting down, again, this is a very good reaction from him. He's putting down a watchtower over here, quickly. This is kind of a race. And he's garrisoning in his villages. And he's killing my villages. Effectively. And it stops at 96%. Now back here. Unfortunately he has Mamelukes. I was thinking maybe he has villagers over here and then they would be able to kill the battering rams, but that would pull them into the range of my castle and deal some damage. But Mamelukes are ranged, they're ranged melee units, they're a bit strange, but they are absolutely devastating to rams, so that was... I just threw a bunch of gold and wood away to deal 1,000 damage to a castle. That was terrible. But not too problematic. I'm in the Imperial Age. I am sending an army of villagers down. Now I thought I could deal some damage, but no. I mean, it's a guard tower, it has villagers garrisoned in it. My mangonels without any upgrades are not going to do anything. Now I'm building trebuchets, and traps are... yeah, they are the answer here. As soon as I have traps out and enough military to protect them, I essentially win the game. That's another thing that I like about the Magyars. Wolves are not even really an annoyance. They just die. So before I finish this castle, I'm using my villagers to put down archery ranges so that I can produce all the units that I want over here. Helps, skirms, traps, everything. Now, he's doing something very strange. He went for monks, which I really don't understand. I mean, monks cost a lot of gold. Gold is not really something he has a lot of. He is in the Imperial Age by now, that's good for him, but I don't have any units that are really worth converting. Maybe the Mangonel, but I only have one left. He's not going to convert my traps because he needs to stand next to them, and he needs to research the technology before he can even do that, so that's very expensive. As it is, my traps killed both of his turrets now, or his towers. He's trying to get some I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. He built an outpost for visibility, I guess, which is okay, but it dies very, very quickly, so not that useful. I have my second castle done. He's trying to build his own trap to contest my castle. But I already have 2 of them out. And this game is essentially over. I have 8,000 points almost. He is less than 6,000. I'm ahead militarily by far. I have 2 castles right next to his base. This castle now kills this gold mine. Sure, he could use this one, and he has one over here, but this is not good for him. And I'm getting out my Elite Hussar upgrade. And my plan was, as soon as I have that, use the traps and my infantry to apply pressure here, get out a number of Hussars, and then start raiding around. And that would have definitely killed him. But as it is, this is all the military he has. A handful of crossbows, and there's the GG. Now for some reason Age of Empires 2 HD decides to crash right after, or the replay decides to crash right after he called GG, so this is the score screen from right up to that point. And the interesting thing you can see, he actually killed more units than I did. 63 killed, I killed 27. And I killed obviously a lot more buildings than him. And at the end I had quite a big army. He never got past 17 units at a time. So yeah, at the end I was far stronger than he was. This is the most important screen, I think. Especially in this game. In all categories I have so much more resource collected than him. So much more, I mean 11,000 to almost 18,000, 12,000 to 18,000. This one is less important, but here 4,000 to 6,000. And he was a Saracen. Saracens need a lot of gold. I'm a Magyar, don't need that much gold, so for him it would be very important to have, especially this one the other way around. But also this is not good because I could just, even had he tried to play on, I could have just overwhelmed him with tons of units. He got to the Castle Age quicker than me. I got to the Feudal Age quicker. This was important for me because that really helped allowed me to first of all kill this Drush, and it allowed me to put a lot of pressure early on with my archers, so that was very important. Imperial Age time, yeah, that was at that point I didn't really feel like I needed to rush it anymore. I had him so much on the defensive. I was feeling pretty safe. So essentially, mainly did that because I wanted traps to kill his castle. Otherwise, I didn't feel pressured. Villager high, yeah, 85 to 132. More villagers is almost always better. There is a point where it gets too much, but having less than 100 villagers in a 200 pop game is usually very bad and very problematic, and results in stuff like this. Also, you can see my villager population was ignoring the early game where, yeah, it was pretty similar. Here you can see my villager population is significantly larger than his, and that's essentially what made me, or what really helped me win the game. So yeah, if you're playing Age of Empires 2, make tons of villagers, tons of town centers, tons of villages. That really, if you have enough villagers, you can get away with bad exchanges. You can get away with losing more units than your opponent. It doesn't really matter. If you have the economy to sustain that, it doesn't matter. You can still win. And yeah, that's the game. I'm Kamaleao. Have a good time.